What's up, guys? I'm back working on these little paintings. I went ahead and shaded this one in while I was at the shop today, so I apologize. There won't be a video for shading that, but even though I've already started on this one, you know, I still got some work to do, so I thought I'd pull out the camera and at least film while I finish this one up. So I went ahead and stained these after I did the line work. Sorry, I'm just kind of getting everything tuned up, getting my brushes at the right amount of saturated with liquid. Making sure my water brush is at a good level of saturation with water. So I like to kind of saturate the paper where I want the fade to go before I start hitting it with some ink. And so I got it a little too wet. That's what just happened there. But see how it already just like fades out? And then you just go right back over it like that. Get some of that ink off the brush. Yeah, I went a little bit crazy on this actually. This is a terrible example of how to do this. That's actually hilarious. Oh my God, what is happening? So evidently I had too much ink on my brush, and now I am having an existential crisis. So there we go, we've got a blacked out wing now that was supposed to be not blacked out, because that was just the fade. Now I have to connect it, and it's just a little bit too far with the black. It'll do though, because it's just gonna have to. I'm not really understanding what the issue is. I don't know if it's the way this paper is taking the ink. So we're just gonna have to keep running some experiments here. Also, I'm not doing music because, just as I suspected, my last video got flagged for copyright. And it just like, I know my channel's not monetized yet, but it's just, my video can get blocked, and it's just not worth the risk. The audio could get removed, and yeah, it's just not worth the risk of having a little background music. And when I listened to it back when I rewatched the video before I posted it also, it just felt like the music was in the way. So, no music. I think it's better this way. So you really got to be careful with laying down that water before you hit it with some ink, especially on this paper. On a higher quality watercolor paper, I don't have as much of an issue, but this is pretty cheap paper here. Yeah, I'm thinking this paper is too slick, and it's making it like impossible to get a clean fade with this black ink. It's just sitting on the surface too long. Because I'm supposed to be able to fit some brown in these wings, and if it keeps going like this, these wings are gonna be jet black. So I gotta figure out how I'm gonna fix this real fast before this ink dries up also. Yeah, see, it just sits. It sits on the paper a little too long, and that makes it really difficult to maneuver. So instead, we're just gonna treat it a little differently and not pre-wet the paper. It doesn't need that. On thicker paper, it might need to be re-wet. But on this cheap paper, it's actually harming it more than it's helping it. There are few things in this world more frustrating than being an artist. especially because it's like not something that I can just put down. You know, like it's a different kind of frustration because I have to do this. My soul like won't let me not do this. But the amount of mistakes that I make and just the troubleshooting that comes with being an artist, whether it's the materials or your concept, your design, your color choices, your application, the materials, everything plays a role and has factors into it. And it does not take much for there to be a very simple mishap, and it will happen over and over again, especially because that's just what happens if you're pushing yourself, you know, and making something worthwhile. If you're just making a product that you just do over and over and over again and sell that, you know, that same thing, that's different. Like, but that's because that's a product. It's not a work of art. You know, work of art is going to show the struggle that you went through to create it. It's just kind of inevitable. That's part of why we are so attracted to works of art, because, you know, it's like doing the impossible. It's so hard to sit down and make something and continue making something after you made mistake after mistake and covering it up, making it look like it wasn't a mistake, but you know what happened. And that's why a work of art is really like such an intimate thing, because it's really a journey that this artist went on to create this thing. And, you know, products can be included in that because it is a process, you know. But yeah, so next time you see a work of art and it looks perfect to you, you should try and find some mistakes in it. Not to poke holes in the effectiveness of it, you know, not to try and put it down. A great piece of art is a great piece of art. But as a way to witness the push and pull that the artist went through to produce that work of art. That's what the mistakes tell, and that's why they're so beautiful in a way, especially because the untrained eye usually won't see any mistakes, and they're just amazed. And that's wonderful, but they're also missing out on such an amazing part of the artwork, because the mistakes tell the real story. They tell the struggle that the artist went through to produce this, and the decisions that are made and then reconsidered and then changed and done differently. That's all the juicy stuff to a work of art. You know, it's kind of like going to one of those like fine cuisine restaurants and ordering something but not knowing anything about it. So to you, it just kind of either tastes good or not good. You can't really, you might be able to pick out some flavors. It's salty, it's sweet, or spicy. But that's about the extent that it goes. But then you have somebody who's, very knowledgeable in cuisine. They can tell you, oh, this, I can taste this specific note of this herb that's creating this balance with this type of meat, and because it was cooked this way, that's why it's got this texture. And they notice the texture more, they notice the flavors more, because they understand all the subtleties that make it what it is. And that's kind of what the mistakes are in a work of art. That's why we get so intrigued when we can do like x-rays on artworks and see all the changes, because it's a look into this personal conversation that the artist was having with the work. It tells a deeper story, and I just think that's really cool. And so that's why I don't chase perfection. I'm not looking to make something intentionally bad, but I also am not afraid to make a mistake and leave it there, or make a mistake and fix it and change my mind and all that stuff, because that's part of the process. The process is, as an artist, the process is what it's about. That's why I keep making mistakes and keep continuing on and making more art, because it's not about what I'm producing, it's about what happens to me when I'm producing art. What I go through while having this conversation with the paints and the image and the brushes. That is something that just feeds my soul. It's not like a high. It's like it's like feeling hungry and needing to eat food. That's the only thing that I can kind of compare it to. It's just like, I can't not do this, no matter how challenging it may get or discouraging I may feel about it. I can't put it down. I mean, seriously, I think that I've been doing something creative as long as I can remember. I haven't always been drawing, I haven't always been painting, but I know that I have the soul of an artist. It's just a recognition and nothing more. And because of that, I have always been doing something in the arts my whole life. It's just all I know to do. Whenever I have strayed, thinking that maybe this isn't the life for me, I got a degree in marketing. And yet the whole time I was getting my degree, I was still making paintings. The summer of my graduation, I had my first art exhibition that I put on myself. I paid for everything and through my own gallery opening. So it's just, the mistakes don't faze me First of all, because I know that's my way of sort of telling my story. But also because I'm going to keep doing this regardless. So, mistake, no mistake, couldn't care less. I'm just going to keep moving forward. I got work to do. I can't get hung up on that stuff. And I almost feel like when I used to get hung up on it, that's when they became the most noticeable. That's when they stuck out like a sore thumb. But as I just relax and allow myself to do my work, not only do I enjoy making art differently, but my work, I think, is just coming out cleaner. Like, you can tell when someone's hesitating, when they're too afraid of making a mistake. Not talking about being reckless. So, for the most part, this beak is dark. I don't really know the best way to go about this, though. Hope I wasn't just blocking the camera the whole time. So I'm using fine synthetic watercolor brushes. I plan on upgrading to organic at some point. But for now, these work well for me. They're synthetic brushes from Barcelona. And I got two of them. One is for the ink and one is for the fade. And to ensure that I'm always using the right brush, I cut a little notch in my water brush. Okay. Give me 1 sec. I gotta go preheat the oven. Okay, I'm back. So I'm noticing that looks like all of these leaves are have some black in them. Whoops. Charger just fell out of the wall. It's all good. Got a little crazy with that black right there. Messed up a little bit, but back on track. Kind of trying to move quick because I'm supposed to be getting dinner going. It's my night to be in charge of dinner. But like I said, fuck. Gotta be careful when trying to move quick, cause prone to do some stupid shit like that. And it doesn't help that this paper is not very forgiving. But it's fine. Everything will be all right. Because it has to. So while all that's drying up there, just thought I'd come down here, take care of this funny business, this funny stuff. With some paper, you have to kind of lay down a lot of ink. This thin ass paper, you gotta lay down as little ink as possible. Otherwise, you're gonna start getting crazy. Like, see how long that's sitting on there? I don't know if you can tell by the shine, but yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Once I throw that green on there though, it won't really be that noticeable. I mean, I still think it looks pretty good, even with the factors at hand involving the water saturation. There's the oven. I gotta wrap this video up like ASAP. I gotta get up out of here. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, thanks for stopping by. I'll be back with plenty more because I'm trying to paint as much as possible and film my painting process as much as possible, give you guys some quality content. I mean, it's just me ranting into my phone camera, but I'm sure that I've said at least maybe, hopefully, a partially interesting thing about something at some point. And if not, that's fine. It's fine by me. I'm just trying to get more videos out there because I want to be able to monetize my shit. But also, I just kind of enjoy painting and letting my stream of consciousness just kind of do its thing. So, and to have whoever might watch that on here, I appreciate your viewership, if that's what that's called. So I've been just waiting on me. I'm trying to get this shit going before my lady gets here because I know she's gonna be hungry. All right, there it is. Call that one finished for the black shading. I'll be back with another video for color. Thank you all for watching.